Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Bramaged Goods. I'm your host, Dane Bramage. With me always is Bob. And
Hi!
And tonight, we have a special guest. We are interviewing our good friend, Troy.
Hey, Internet. Mom, I'm on the Internet. It's awesome.
At least it's not cops. No.
My own cops! No, my face would be blurred out then.
Maybe. I don't know. On my version of cops, everybody knows who
You're
you are.
exposed.
But, and you don't want us exposing ourselves. So anyway, tonight we want to talk about gaming, video gaming. And Troy here actually is now a writer for 2 gaming sites. I'll let him tell you about those.
I can officially call myself a gaming journalist. I write for bagofgames.com, mostly editorials, things like that, and gamingstructure.com. Go to both of them. They need your support. I do reviews, previews, and PR. Got a lot of good games we're talking about the next week. So go to those sites. If I had a bar there, I'd put them at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We don't have the kind of budget for that.
Yeah, fuck it. It's cardboard.
Yeah, right. Damn it. Cardboard. Why didn't I think of this?
Make a note of it.
We just had a full discussion before the show of whether or not we should do stuff like this, and that didn't come up.
Cardboard.
And this is why we haven't had a guest before, because we just don't know what the hell we're doing.
Nope.
No.
That's the magic of Bramaged Goods.
Sorry we disappointed you.
Yeah, it's not a disappointment, okay?
That's why I'm in the back.
That's why I like jazz for the improv.
That's why we put Baby in the corner. So anyway, yeah, Troy was just recently at PAX East.
And it was awesome.
Yes. Do you have anything cool you want to talk about with that?
One thing that you got to know about PAX East is that there's going to be a lot of people in costume, which is always fun. But it's weird because it's a convention. It's the 3rd largest convention for video games, period. But then there's the people there that are like dressed up as like Sonic and Knuckles, the couples, and there's Quail Man, and there's like just there's obscure and there's super mainstream. There's a guy dressed as like Bumblebee from Transformers. Like it was like a 9-foot tall, fully animatronic robot. I took a picture with him, and it was fantastic. But then you have to like try and conduct like real interviews with developers while like zombies are walking around behind you, and like girls are wearing like loincloths and like nipple tape. Like, oh, I'm a cat from this game. Like. And I'm like, all right, you have my attention, but so what was your motivation when you were writing the soundtrack for Mass Effect 3? And then people are just like, oh, hold on, I got to look at this girl walk by first. And it's a fantastic time. A lot of Banes this year because of The Dark Knight. With that, a lot of guys didn't work out, though, so you got a lot of fat Banes. Yeah, just, it's a good time. But
So what was your favorite cosplay, would you say?
My favorite cosplay, ooh.
That's a good question.
Damn
good question.
I like ensemble cosplays, and every year there's usually a group of people that do one game. And I think this year I saw like 9 Street Fighter characters, and they were spontaneously busting to the poses, the end pose.
Nice.
And that's always a good time because the Ryus and the Kens and whoever did Guile, like it was his real hair.
That's awesome.
Straight up. And, oh man, if you can look up PAX East 2013 cosplay, do it. You owe it to yourself.
Yeah, I saw a couple of good ones posted like on Facebook and whatnot, and I was like the different game sites like on Facebook, like their pages were posting up people cosplaying. Mm-hmm. I actually saw you in the background of one of them. I don't know if you got my text.
Oh yeah, I did get that. Yeah.
You were like there was like an Assassin's Creed page, and they took pictures of people dressed as assassins, and there was one where you guys were in the background talking. I was like, I know those people, not the guy in the costume, but those people.
One of the guys I was with was actually dressed as Ezio, and people were like, oh, take a picture, because he had 2 really cool hidden blades on his wrist.
Oh,
and
nice.
Like, oh, take a picture with your hidden blades, and I'm just like behind him, like, here I am, my track jacket,
nice.
my fro.
Yeah.
Cosplay.
Maybe that's the guy then. But that's awesome. Speaking of cosplaying and whatnot, this is like kind of off topic but on topic. I have been so badly wanting to at some point, and since we all hang out outside of this show,
We do.
I eventually want to get a bunch of people to go to a go-kart place dressed up as Mario Kart characters.
Yes.
Just to do it.
Yeah,
just
I'm
show
down.
up and we're all just Mario Kart characters and we just pay for the ride and get on and drive around.
Dibs on Luigi.
Done.
Because I'm tall enough and he jumps higher.
That.
Dispute it, you can't.
I got nothing. That's awesome.
But yeah, we need to do that. I gotta get on that. I
Right.
gotta call my overall guy.
Actually, if we're going to quit filming now,
Yeah, right.
and
gonna
I'll
do
be back
that.
in a few hours.
Right. So that's the end of tonight's show. No.
And we're done.
Yeah. So, like I said, also I just wanted to talk about gaming. Old school, new school, all school, really.
All school. The
All
school of games.
Yes.
It's a good class. Speaking of games, I'm playing something right. I'm playing Gears Judgment right now. Buy that if you can. Far Cry 3. Mm-hmm. That game is amazing. I am afraid of Jeeps. I'm afraid of snakes. I'm afraid of the wilderness, but I want to keep playing that game. If you have not played Far Cry 3, go get it. It was on sale last week, suckers. But it's totally worth the $60.
What is that game actually about? I haven't played it, but I've heard of it, obviously, like, you know.
Every Far Cry has been different so far. This one is basically you and your friends are out, like, on an island. I guess one of you has just graduated and gotten your pilot's license. Like, just you and your friends are together. And then, apparently, a majority of this island is taken over by some sort of, like, Latin terrorist group. And they kidnap you and go, oh, you guys are rich. You're here with daddy's money. And they're like, we're going to hold you hostage. You and your brother try to escape. Your brother dies. Spoilers. It's like 10 seconds in. And then you, completely untrained and know nothing, find like a guy. He's like, here's a gun. I'm going to teach you how to get your friends back that are kidnapped. And you just slowly learn how to do stuff to get them back. And the entire island is wide open from the beginning.
Nice.
But the terrorist group is the only other group on this island. So if you see any other people or hear any other cars, it's them. They're going to kill you. And you're just heightened sense of urgency all the time, and it's so much fun.
So it's essentially a video game version of Leonardo DiCaprio movie The Beach.
Yes, but good and in first person.
I was going to say it's my typical summer weekend.
Okay.
Good time.
You hang out with you
Good
some
weekend,
more.
yeah, man. What the hell?
What's up, Fark? Love you guys. Go Colombia.
That's pretty cool.
Notice none of Bob's friends ever come back from these trips. Always alone.
Don't worry about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, see, like, that's the thing is, like, there are so many new games that I just have not gotten to yet because I'm too busy being an old school gamer. Like, I love platformers. I will love platformers till the day I die. And that's not to say that I don't play newer games, but, like, I think the newest game I've played recently was Aliens Colonial Marines, which, unfortunately, from what I hear, did not get the greatest reviews.
But you love it, and
I
that's
do
all
love
that
it.
matters.
It's just because I'm such a diehard Alien
The game
fan.
is terrible.
Can I just ask, what makes that a bad game?
From a technical standpoint, the AI is completely broken. Like, I've watched people play the game where they're standing in a room full of the xenomorph, the aliens, and they're just not being attacked. Like, they're just kind of standing around, and aliens are like, rah, and they run away. At one point, apparently you fight, like, zombie aliens that can't see, but they spontaneously combust if they get too excited, which is just funny for a game design. Also, in a game called Colonial Marines where you're fighting aliens, you spend a good chunk shooting just regular dudes. Which, I want to shoot aliens. Yeah. Why am I shooting regular dudes? Oh, and they completely effed up because it's canon to the alien story. They brought back people back to life that should have been dead for at least 6 months. They're like, oh, he's been here the entire time. Like, his decomposed body is still there, and we're talking to him? That's gross. And the rumor has it that the Gearbox, the company that made that game, also made Borderlands 2. They took on the contract and the money to make Aliens Colonial Marines and put it all towards Borderlands 2 and rented out Aliens to like some other second tier group like straight out of college, and they completely tanked it. Well, they did what they could, but the game didn't come up to snuff. But again, if you like the game, all that matters.
I will say that I can agree with the complaint that you do spend a lot of time fighting just Marine guys. That was kind of bogus, but I have to say, like, I haven't had an issue when it comes to the xenomorph levels of not getting attacked by xenomorphs. I get my ass kicked in that game by the xenomorphs. I mean, it might be because I fucking suck at first-person shooters. I'm not good at them at all. It's like, I think there's just something wrong with, like, the one thing I did like about this game that I've never seen in a first person before, but again, I don't really play them much, is that when something's attacking you from the back, there's like a circle that appears on the screen, kind of, and like a red like slash kind of appears behind you, so it, like you know, to tell you, hey, you're getting attacked from here,
this side.
So turn. Like, I've never seen that in a first person before, and that really kind of excited me. I was like, ooh, hey, a game where something's hitting me in the back, I know about it, because that's like the thing I hate most.
You should play some more first person shooters then.
Yeah.
It's the thing they do. Funny aside, I watched a guy play Colonial Marines, and the game glitched out when you're fighting the queen. You can't kill the queen. You just have to, like, hold her off. The queen got stuck in a door. So everybody, all the guys around like, oh, God, it's the queen. We got to stop. We got to kill it. But they don't shoot her, and he just stood there and waited till the time ran out, and then he progressed past that part.
Oh, really?
And it was hilarious to watch. He was like, watch this. She's going to get stuck. It happens every time. And sure enough, and he's just standing there, not doing a thing.
Well, that's good news for when he gets the alien queen.
I've already beaten the game. And that didn't happen to me. I got my ass kicked. Fucking first person hate me.
Yeah. You gotta cut your teeth on it, man. You gotta earn your stripes.
Yeah. Well, because, like, the only other first person games that I ever really played that I enjoyed were Alien vs. Predator for the PC.
Which is awesome.
It was fantastic. For its time, it was great. I loved that game. And then the other Alien vs. Predator they put out for the Xbox 360 back in the
Oh yeah, I remember
a couple
that.
years ago,
Yeah.
which it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as I think it could have been.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
First-person shooter, if you get the chance and the funds and you just have hours and hours to waste, BioShock Infinite.
Yes,
Another
the
game you
BioShock
owe it to
series
yourself
is
to
one
play.
that yeah, the BioShock series is one that I really want to just get into at some point.
Finally got hands-on, finally got reviews up, everything. That game it deserves all the accolades it's getting. Like
Nice.
It's not a game changer. It's showing like, hey, we're at the end of a console generation. Here's what we can still do. Speaking of which, this September, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to come out, and my eyes are going to explode out of my head. I can't wait for that damn game.
That does. I've read some stuff about that, and that game does look flipping phenomenal.
I actually just put a piece up of 11 new screenshots from Grand Theft Auto 5 on GamingStructure.com.
Shameless plugs. That's what the show's
Shame.
about.
I have no shame whatsoever. I'll plug myself.
A no shame plug.
Bam.
Even better.
My favorite first-person shooter. This is way back in the day, back in the original, Duke Nukem. It's called Chex Quest, and you got it for free.
Chex
Going back.
You've played it for free, and you got it with your Chex cereal.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
it. And to this day, if I could find that working for my computer, I would
See?
waste
That was
tons
when
of hours.
food tie-in games were good. You got Chex Quest, and you had the 7-Up spot game.
I
F
love
you,
that.
Sneak King. That game was terrible with the big creepy
didn't
Burger
play
King face. Don't
Yeah,
play
I mean,
it.
I remember hearing about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Don't play
those
it.
were-
It was horrible. That
What's
and
the point of a game where you are basically starving people until right before they pass out, and
Here's
then
a
you
burger.
rush up with a burger? Yeah, like that guy's a bastard.
it's what a sociopath would do with
Yeah.
a giant stoic
Oh,
face.
you're starving? Oh, look at this burger. Oh, you can't get it yet. Oh, you're about to pass out. Ah, there you go.
Well, I think that game was capitalizing on the fast food mentality. It's so bad for you, you really don't want it
But you
until
de-
you're going
but
to
you
die.
depend on it. It's like
Yeah.
heroin.
Yeah. It's like you're either broken in college, so you have no choice, or you're really stoned and hungry and you don't give a shit.
You don't give a damn what you put in yourself.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning if you're hungry. I mean, it really doesn't
Oh, it's all
matter.
downhill
Yeah.
from there. Nobody's like, oh, it's 3 a.m. I'm hungry. I want a salad.
Yeah.
It's like, no, give me a freaking Cool Ranch taco
Yeah.
and all the hot sauce you can legally hand me right now.
Speaking of Cool Ranch tacos, real quick, I don't know if you guys heard this. Tostitos, as you know, make Doritos,
Yeah.
or vice
Vice
versa,
versa.
whatever.
Yeah, Frito-Lay.
PepsiCo, or someone makes them.
Frito.
But anyway, as you know, Taco Bell has the Dorito chips. Now Doritos are coming out with chips flavored like the tacos, flavored like the chips.
That can't.
Yes, it's
So-
happening. So this is going to start an
Full
infinite
circle.
cycle where now Taco Bell is going to probably come out with their tacos with this
That
chip.
are flavored like the chips, that are flavored after the taco, which are
right.
flavored after the
And
chips.
it's just going to become an infinite cycle until it takes over the world.
So when do we fall into limbo like Inception, where just no food makes sense and we're just stuck down there with our train of a life?
I give it 2 years. You heard it here first, people. 2 years until Doritos takes over the world.
Doritoception. It's
Taco Bell, though, is great for those nights where you're feeling a little bound up and you just need to let it all go.
Taco Bell is great for when you hate yourself.
Taco Bell has fueled more of my gaming in the past couple months. Like, I'll go out, I'll have a couple drinks, I'll come home, I'm like, I'm not tired yet, I'm sobered up, but I'm hungry. I gotta go get some Taco Bell, and I'll come back and I'll play like Halo 4, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and just swear at kids that are in another time zone because they're awake and like playing on the Saturday morning. Like, I'm an adult with disposable income, I'm shooting you in the face, shoving Taco Bell in my mouth. Like, it's a great time.
Is that also
Actually,
because they have Code Red?
I don't do the Code Red thing.
I'm just teasing. I know it's like the gamer drink.
Yeah,
or
it's like,
whatever.
oh, it's
I never drank it.
too sweet.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
I'm a Pepsi throwback kind of guy myself.
Wow, that's real sugar right there.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
guys had the new Mountain Dew? What is it? Kickstart or
Oh, the
Oh,
Kickstarter
yeah,
Mountain
yeah,
Dew.
whatever that is. I haven't
Because
had
when
it.
you want
the
your
2% fruit juice.
Yeah, when you want your Mountain Dew cut with some cocaine, give you that little bit of pep in the morning. Jeez. This world knows no bounds.
Not this world.
Nothing is sacred.
Way to make the whole show a downer. Now I'm just depressed thinking about
Talk
how-
about something that makes you happy.
I can't think of anything anymore, man. No.
Mario's awesome.
Mario is awesome. I do like that. Thank you, Troy. You cheered my ass up.
AKA Jumpman. I mean, that's
Yeah,
Jumpman.
Jumpman.
Actually, a carpenter. They made him a plumber for the sequels. Jumpman was originally a carpenter.
That's pretty awesome.
That makes a lot more sense because why would a plumber be climbing up steel scaffolding and ladders?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Also, creative Mario, he has a big mustache because he didn't know how to draw a mouth. Or hair. That's why he wears a hat.
That's pretty
The more
awesome.
you know. Where's that little do-do-do-do?
Right. Cardboard going across the screen.
We gotta invest in cardboard, man.
Yes, I need fucking cardboard. You have no idea. That's gonna start happening. Like I'm gonna be like, cardboard, like Bramaged Goods, party time, excellent. Which is a piece of cardboard. I don't know why I have the Wayne's World theme, man. I'm not that cool. We're not that cool.
We'll figure out your own theme. We're all musicians in here. We need a theme.
Yes. Oh, speaking of, I meant to introduce that before. Troy is also a singing, songwriting guitarist.
I am.
And half the talent behind Chocolate Panda.
What's up?
The band that I play bass in. There's a
I'm
shameless
the rest
plug.
of the talent, but I'm not in the band.
You're not in that band.
But I'm just kind
He's the
of...
talented bassist of Piranhas in Your Hot Tub. The band where I'm the talent.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, no. I was just like, Bob is talented too, and he sings and songwrites as well.
He does sing.
He's
I'm
the
just
voice of
gonna
an
go
angel.
back in my corner now.
You can't go any
You're
further
already
back
in your
into the corner.
I can turn, damn it.
This guy.
Oh, man. So, let's talk, since we were already kind of talking old school games for a minute.
Mm.
What would you say is your favorite of the old school games? If you had, I mean, not if you, like, okay, let's put it this way. You can even give me like a top 5 if you want to. I'm not gonna make you narrow it down to
Probably
one.
won't be able to go top 5. I'm gonna go old school, anything before 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Ocarina of Time, depending on how you pronounce it. If you're a douche. Mario 3 was a game I got with my first Nintendo.
Nice.
And I can play that game frontwards and backwards. Not anything. TMNT, Turtles in Time. I can speedrun that game in 12 minutes.
That is the first arcade game like I ever beat in an arcade. It took me like $20 in quarters.
And I'm going to break my own rule already. I said anything before 2000, but Grand Theft Auto 3 changed my freaking life. And Tetris, actually. Tetris, I've played Tetris for 24 hours straight, taking a bus to see some family. I used to just play Tetris to pass the time.
That's awesome.
When I was a kid, I didn't know how to play Tetris. I thought you had to build stuff, so I always lost. And then when I finally got my first straight line and cleared a board, I was like, that's what you're supposed to do. Been hooked ever since.
Awesome.
How about you?
Well, we'll go with Bob next. I'll go last.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm
That's okay.
kind of pissed because I have 2 that are the same as you.
You can repeat. That's
Obviously,
fine.
Yeah, we can repeat.
Ocarina of
This is
Time
okay.
and Mario 3,
Okay.
of course, because
Dude, you can
that's
fly.
just... Exactly. And you could turn
That's
into the
what he
weird
said.
stone guy, and be a frog. I mean,
You get the whistles.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
want a Tanuki suit? I would love to have the Tanuki
Tanuki
suit.
was awesome.
so those are 2. I'm probably gonna have to go with the original Mario / Duck Hunt because that
Nice.
came with my first Nintendo.
My mom's Nintendo. My mom's not that much. She's older than me, but she's younger. Her Nintendo, she got the Mario in Track and Field. So they had the little power pad that everybody cheated on.
Yeah.
That is they made a track and field version, like a special version of that, and it is now the most valuable video game of all time.
Really?
We might still have that at my grandmother's house in
Well,
Virginia.
this one they only made like 100 of them,
Not that
and
one,
there's
then.
only like 2 left or something.
Oh, wow.
But it's worth a ton of money.
2 left that they know of, except for the secret one Troy has at his aunt's house. No.
He wears it on a necklace.
Where does it keep?
Any
So-
others?
I don't even know how many I did now. I still think I just did 2, right?
It was 3.
I think you did 3, yeah, because you
Okay.
said the Legend of Zelda, you said Mario 3, and then you said the Mario Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, so that's 3. 4 would probably be... I don't know how this is going to stand the test of time, but I'm really enjoying Journey right now.
Dude,
It's
Journey
a
is so good.
recent PlayStation Network
It's on PSN for
game.
$10. Get that
It's
and Unfinished Swan.
really, yeah, really awesome. Just, I love the music and just the simplicity of it.
Cool.
Um,
Now, is that one of those, like, PlayStation Network games? It's like they do it like it's old school, but it's like a
No.
new game? Okay.
No, the
I've seen a lot of
game
those.
is
I like those games.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Like, it
it's-
takes... Yeah.
I've never heard
it's
I don't
just
have
like
PlayStation,
there's
but
no
3,
sound
so-
except for the little chirp you can make, and
Okay.
you just go around collecting your scarf, basically.
And you have to
Those
make
are-
it to a point in the horizon. And the way they do multiplayer is another person that's playing the game. You get randomly paired with another person, and you can't speak to each other. And they're just like, oh, cool, I'm just going to help you. And when you finish the game, it shows you every person you played with along the way.
Oh, cool.
Or if you get paired up at the very beginning, it just shows that you and one other person went through the entire thing. It's so fun.
And actually, I felt horrible the first time I had to leave someone. Because I was just playing, I was, going to do like a little quick half hour. And I did that, and I was like, okay, I got to get out of here. And there was a guy, and he kept running forward, and he kept running back to me and like chirping, and I wanted to be like, guy, I'm leaving. I'm so sorry. And
it's heartbreaking.
For a couple hours, I kept thinking back, and I was like, I hope that person's okay. I hope they made their journey.
I just imagine when you shut off your system, your character just goes, just like plops on the ground.
Like the Matrix, not like this.
Yeah, exactly. So the dude's like chirping at you, all of a sudden you just go, and he's just like, chirp, 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 chirp. If you have anything really important to say to chirp, now is your time. Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to do a top 6. I'm sorry.
Whatever. There's no rules.
I'm going to have to include Monster Rancher.
Okay.
PlayStation and PlayStation 2 game. I just loved it because I would literally take hours out of my day and collect all the CDs and movies from around my house. And I just all put them in my PlayStation to see which monster would come out. And I remember getting so excited. I was at my grandparents' house. I put in an old Irish folk album or CD into it. And it ended up getting like a super rare monster somehow. And I was like, how did this happen? How did old people, Irish music?
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You got the monster, man.
That's awesome.
And then finally I'm going to have to say probably Final Fantasy. Ooh.
You know you want to say 7.
Everyone says 7.
I do,
You like 7. It's
but
okay.
also 8. Because 8 was actually the first one I had for myself. I played a bunch of them on my other, my friends.
There's always that first game.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
Where it's like, it doesn't
but
matter.
8
like,
was,
what it was.
yeah, I got that actually for PC. And I loved the cutscenes in it. It was one of the, 7 and 8 have the great, elaborate cutscenes.
Visually stunning is what I used to call them.
Nice.
I don't know how to skip Metal Gear Solid. I'm not going to do top 6, but Metal Gear Solid. Oh, man.
You didn't do 6. Make it so I'm not weird.
You guys are embarrassing me because your old school games are still somewhat new compared to the shit I'm
Journey's
I'm not trying to
old
brag.
school.
But
I'm sorry.
no,
I forgot
whatever.
Old school.
Don't worry about it. I just want to talk games anyways. I really don't. But okay, I'll say that the first video game I ever really got to play was the original Legend of Zelda, because my friends in my neighborhood were obsessed with it, and that and Mario.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that one's my favorite though. I wanted to say that's the first one I ever really got to play. Yeah, there's nostalgia of I always loved the Zelda games, but my absolute favorite old school Zelda game has to be A Link to the Past. Super Nintendo, because it's the closest one to the original as far as the whole top-down thing, but it just had the cleaned up graphics and sound effects and everything, and there was just something about that game.
That may have been my favorite visual Zelda, even though Ocarina of Time is beautiful and Wind Waker, everyone talks about that.
No, Wind Waker looks good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one's fun for what it is. I mean Twilight Princess is probably one of my favorites right now, the GameCube version, because Link's still a lefty. And I'm partial to that. Yes. I was so pissed when they changed it. But
America making people righties.
Yeah. But Link to the Past has to be my favorite of the Zelda series as far as if we're talking old school and just that one. And then my favorite video game of all time though, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. The lock-on. There's something about that game, because Sonic, my friends had, Nintendos growing up, and then, my first system was the Sega Genesis, so, a lot of my growing up was just playing Sonic the Hedgehog, and when that character came out, and my friend across the street actually had the Sega Genesis first. I got mine because he had one, and he had the original NES, and that's where I played Zelda and Mario for the first time. And then he upgraded. He sold me his Nintendo, and then he upgraded to a Sega Genesis. And then for that year for Christmas, I was like, okay, I want this. And Sonic the Hedgehog was the first game he had. It came with it, the not for resale one, and I never understood what that meant. Every time I'd see it on the label, I was like, what does that mean?
Every kid I knew had a Sega that said not for resale.
Yep. So the minute I saw that game, I was just in love with that camera. I'm this 5-year-old kid, and I'm just everything in my life became Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nerd confession: I've never beat Sonic and Knuckles.
Really?
I've never finished it.
All right. Well, you're in for a treat.
I finished every Sonic except for that one. I can speedrun every Sonic except for Sonic and Knuckles. There's a part where I get to where I just cannot beat that game for some reason.
That's interesting. Well, I'll get to that in a second, because I just want to say with Sonic 3, it was that was the first one that I had that I really played. Like, I had Sonic 1 and I had Sonic 2, and I wasn't that good at the two of those. Like, to this day, like, I can beat them now and get all the emeralds and everything, and then, like, you know, but it's like, it's more of a chore for me to beat those two.
Yeah.
There's just something about those two that are, like, much more difficult for me than Sonic 3. Sonic 3 was the first one, like, I had it first. Like, my buddy Alex across the street, he had both of them, like, the first two, and he beat them and was, like, awesome at them. And I wasn't that good at video games when I was a kid. I'm still not great at them. I'm like, finally good at them now that I'm 27.
There.
Yeah. Like, now that I've been playing the same games for, like, 18, 19 years.
Eyes
it's like,
closed, watch this.
yeah, it's like, now I'm good at them. But, like, when I was a kid, I was awful. So, like, you know, I always had my friends beat them for me so I could see the endings. But with Sonic 3, that was the first one. Like, I had it before he did. So, like, he came over to my house to check it out. And I was like, yeah, look at this. So that one for me is, like, there's the nostalgia of that being, like, the first one.
That
Like,
sense
I,
of
you know,
pride.
like I was the one who got to show everybody in the neighborhood, this is the new Sonic, and I have it. You know, and then, like, you know, and then when they made Sonic and Knuckles and you could, like, lock them in. And then it turned Sonic 3 into that much bigger game. Because I remember, like, we all were like, Sonic 3 is so short. Why are there only 6 levels? Like, what is this crap? And then, like, you know, when you
get
find
Knuckles
out...
part, it's like,
yeah,
holy crap.
exactly. When you found out that it, like, actually is this whole big story. And it's like... And it's still, like, to this day, like, there was no dialogue, but you knew that story.
You knew
When
what was
played,
happening.
Like, yeah, you were just like, oh my god, this is incredible.
Follow
like,
this?
Yeah, like, there's just something about that game that I will always love. And I like, every year, I play it at least once a year, like, the whole way through. And it's, like I said, it's the only one that, like, I can play with ease. Like, I know where everything is. I can just play right through that one. Like, it doesn't give me any trouble anymore, and it's just...
I love going back to a good game.
Right? Yeah, so that one's, like, my top all-time favorite. And then, who doesn't love Mario 3 and Super Mario World? No one's talking about Super Nintendo games yet. And Super Mario World is, like... That one has a lot of memories for me because... like, freshman year of high school, me and my best friends and our then girlfriends, like, we used to all just hang out at each other's houses and play that game and, like, make out with each other. Because, you know, you're teenagers and that's what you do. It's like, oh, let's put the game on pause, make out for a few hours so our parents still think we're playing. They hear the music.
No, they're playing Mario together. Like, they don't even know how Mario works.
Yeah.
Only one of us is playing at a time.
So, that was always a good time. And, yeah, I mean... That's kind of my short list because, I mean...
Well, that's the thing. Like, you mentioned that we didn't bring up a lot. I could sit here for hours on end and talk about every game that I've ever beat, played, rage quit. I've never thrown a controller. I like to pride myself with that. I've never thrown a controller, but I've definitely stopped. I've gotten mad at games and not played them. Actually, Assassin's Creed 3, I recently got mad at and haven't played for 3 months. I got pissed at it.
To me a lot.
I wasn't even mad at it because it was hard. I was mad at it because I got bored. I'm like, I'm a master assassin going to kill so many people. Like, can you go to the end of the frontier and get a rabbit and bring it back and make a necklace for me? I'm like, no, I want to stab somebody in the face. I'm done with you, game. And I put the controller down. Haven't looked back since.
Nice.
And it bothers me when I can't beat a game. To this day, well, actually, it's not like it's an old game. The Mega Man they have on Xbox Live.
Oh, Mega Man's tough, though, man.
Yeah, dude. I love Mega Man games, and I can't.
Past Wily's Castle. I'm like in it. Beat all the regular levels, but I don't know what it is. I think I need to buy like 4 energy tanks or something. It's just impossible.
Dude, the thing is, I love watching Mega Man speedruns on YouTube because I'm like, nobody can beat Mega Man. I'll watch these guys just go through and play Mega Man. It's like, no, these are parts where you have to get hit. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And I'm like, all right, it can be done. Let me get up in there.
Yeah, dude. To this day, I have never gotten past like 1 level in a Mega Man game. I'll get to the boss and I'll lose all my lives. I'm just like, wow, that was the first boss that I tried to fight.
Dude, you got to cheat at this point. Find out the pattern. Every Mega Man has a pattern for how you go through.
I don't have the patience for that. Like, all my life, I've been one of those kids where it's like, I knew, like, at first when I was younger, I didn't understand the concept that bosses had, like, in those games had patterns.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, nowadays, like, I see the patterns sometimes, and I still don't care. I'm just like, no, like especially because, again, being a big Sonic gamer, it's like, I'm used to, hey, we're about to come on the screen, just jump a bunch of times, you'll hit him. You'll hit him, doesn't matter what the pattern is.
No, the first time I tried to play through a Mega Man game, and one of my cousins is really a lot better than me, and I go like, oh, I'm going to go here, and he goes, why'd you go to that robot first? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, no, man, you got to go to Cut Man and get his power, then you can be Wood Man, and then when you be Wood Man, you can be Snake Man. I'm like, what? You mean you have to do the robots in order? He goes, yeah. Changed my damn life. I'm like, oh, crap.
Which one is that you were just talking about?
I think that's 3.
I actually have I think I have the first Mega Man for regular Nintendo still. Where they did a horrible art job.
Yes,
I don't know if you've ever seen.
I've seen screenshots. I've never actually.
The original Mega Man cover is like a
cover.
guy.
Yeah.
It's this guy, and he has like a yellow vest
and
on,
a gun.
Yeah.
And he looks nothing like Mega Man actually looks like. Like if you didn't know what Mega Man was, and you just saw that picture today, I doubt anyone in their right mind would want to play that game.
No, like I don't want to play as
the game by its
middle-aged.
cover.
I want to play a game as middle-aged leotard guy. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Put him in
Got
Mortal Kombat so I can kill him.
safety helmet on, and
With a little light on top.
He's like a miner.
Oh, it was terrible.
Well, I think we're going to call that good for Bramaged Goods tonight. I think we're on a half hour now.
I think
This is
Yeah.
our longest show. Nice
Boom.
work, guys.
Yeah.
and no commercials.
No,
None whatsoever.
You
It's
guys
just full
got a
30
half
minutes.
hour of video game talk, and we will probably do this again. I'm actually very happy with
I
all
enjoyed myself
this.
today.
Thank you so much for coming on, Troy. We'll
Thanks for
probably
having
have
me.
you back again.
I'll be back. Just remember, www.gamingstructure.com and bagofgames.com. Follow us all on Twitter.
Yes.
I'm not on Twitter.
Follow
Not
us
there.
on Twitter.
Yes, please follow us.
Bramaged Goods, the Arnold_SOM.
Yes. Thank you again, Troy and Bob, as always. Thank you very much, Internet, for watching. Stay
Good
classy.
night.
Carpe diem.